Hey folks, it's Cohen, and I'm actually traveling right now, so I'm away from my home studio, so I do not have the full recording setup. I'm just going to be recording this very quick video about the recent roundtable discussion of the general election and what we can learn from the body language of the different opposition candidates. I am only going to be assessing the opposition candidates because they were all each given only 1 minute to share each time. So what we're going to do is we're going to see and observe how the respective opposition candidates use their body language in the discussion. First of all, let's watch Mr. Limin. And I have actually muted the videos and also played them at 4 times the speed so you can actually observe their body language. Let's watch. So far, you see, right, he's been looking down and he wears this frown on his face. When he's wearing that frown on his face, right, what he's really showing, right, is his dissatisfaction with the PAP's policies. And in this way, right, he's definitely trying to show himself to be the strong opposition for the people, right? However, I feel like he's lacking a little bit in terms of likability. He comes across as going head on with the ruling party. Now, let's watch Miss Stephanie Tan. As you see her body language, as you can see clearly, she's actually reading from her notes and she has a head downwards, right? When you have a head downwards, right, your body language, your posture, right, is actually downwards. And then even when she looks up, right, she only makes eye contact very fleetingly with the candidate from PAP as well as the host. And the way she looks is kind of like, her body language is kind of like, slouch forwards. Let's watch. This doesn't portray power. This doesn't portray impact. I know this is not a sexist or a gender conversation, right? It's not about being women or being men. The thing is that when you are representing your party at such a roundtable discussion, you want to portray power, you want to portray confidence, and you also want to portray impact. And so her downward body language, right, is actually hampering her ability to make an impact. Now we watch Mr. Ravi Filament from the Red Dot United. Now you're starting to see that the body language is very different, right? He knows where the camera is and his body language is upright. You can see that. And he's staring straight ahead towards the camera as he speaks. So he glances at his notes, but he portrays not a face of, anger and, like he's growling, right? He is portraying a very neutral face and also a slight smile as you watch. So in this way, right, he actually comes across as more trustworthy and more likable. And it's also important because very often people vote for the people that they like, not just voting out of anger and emotion. And you see his head also does bob forward. And when he makes a point, his head bobs forward. And that's actually very, very powerful. You see that he's maintaining eye contact with everybody in the audience, especially looking towards the host and also the candidate from PAP, and also maintaining his forward posture towards the camera. So when we watch this on live telecast, when we watch this back home on the television or on YouTube, we actually get a better sense of him. Now, let's watch Mr. Michael Tung from the Workers' Party. And here is where we actually see that he has got textbook body language. He is having his body turned slightly towards where the host and where the PAB candidate is sitting. And you see with his eye contact, you see with the movement of his head, and you see with the congruence of his gestures. He enlarges himself. His eye contact is deep. His eye contact is rather aggressive, and but it's not fierce, right? It's aggressive but not fierce, and it's not unlikable. He portrays a lot of likability. And you can also say that you can describe him as having smiling eyes, and that also showcases his sincerity and his trust that he engenders. Again, sitting upright, he gestures powerfully, and he never breaks eye contact. Look at those eyes. He never breaks eye contact throughout. So there you go. Your body language is actually very important. It is very much a big part of your speech and your presentation, right? So be mindful of the body language that you're portraying when you are speaking up at a meeting, or when you are making a presentation. Very often, your body language will have a subconscious effect on people as they are receiving and listening to your message.